The music you listen to has a direct impact on the way that you think. And I always let people know that the people who are unsuccessful in life, they aren't aware of the music that they listen to, the foods that they eat, and the media that they watch. So R&B music specifically, I was big into R&B music, I would say pretty much all my life. And when you really get down to the lyrics and the nitty gritty of what these artists are singing about, we just have to understand that despite how good the music sounds, our subconscious mind picks up everything. So if we're listening to a song that's talking about how, as a man, I just want to worship the ground a woman works on, even though you don't believe that inherently, you're going to start to pick up those type of thoughts. It's going to penetrate your subconscious mind, and you have to be aware of the type of music that you listen to. If we switch genres and we go over to rap, drill music to be specifically, we have to understand why the inner city neighborhoods operate on the levels of despair that they do. It is tied to the music. When you look up to celebrities that talk about killing people, selling drugs, and sliding on the ops, you're going to start listening to that music. It's going to penetrate your subconscious mind, and you're going to start to take on the thoughts that are expressed within the music that you're listening to. Music is a very strong weapon. It's a silent weapon for quiet war, which, if you think about it, is a dichotomy, but that's besides the point. The music you listen to, it reaches your subconscious minds, and just because the beat sounds good doesn't mean that you should be listening to that type of music, because believe it or not, beats are made in ways that can hypnotize you. Beats have certain rhythms and cadences that your subconscious mind picks up on, and it kind of gets you hooked to certain songs and certain sounds. This is why we can go out somewhere in public, we hear a song, and we absolutely know it's garbage. We know we would never listen to it in our free time, but somehow we catch ourselves humming the beat to that song maybe 3 days later. And this can be attributed to the way that beat was produced. Beats have hypnotizing effects that, if you're not careful and you don't pick up on, you could easily fall victim to this trap. Now, music can be used as something on a positive light, but far too often, especially in the black community, it's something that's always portraying a negative image of black culture. You know, we live in an era that all the women, they talk about how they were done dirty by black men, and the women that are in the rap space, they're just talking about how they finesse black men. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you got black men talking about how, you know, black women are hoes and I'm gonna slide on the ops. So this is a very negative and demonic message if you really think about it. When we have to understand why certain songs go mainstream, we have to understand why certain songs are in the Billboard top 10. It's because the people and the labels behind these songs and artists, and it's a very strategic reason why they do so, because they know that music will infiltrate your minds and it will infiltrate your thought process. And most people are ignorant to this, and this is why most people are under the frequency and under the spell that a lot of these songs are operating in. And with that being said, you really just have to think about why certain agendas are being pushed through certain songs, how some songs are specifically targeted to a set demographic of people, and why certain artists or songwriters are promoted over others. And this is all because they know that music is a silent weapon for quiet war. That may be a dichotomy, but you really have to pick up on what I'm saying. Music is something that we have been programmed to think is always going to be joyful. It always is supposed to make us feel better. But there is another end to that spectrum where music is something that can be used to really damage a community. And this is what we're seeing modern day within the black community. Unfortunately, this is how it is. If we even go back in time to the Shang dynasty, I like to highlight the Shang dynasty because they were one of the most potent dynasties, and they were a very strong group of people, and they actually did not listen to music. Their warriors, their soldiers could not listen to music. Now, this may seem very harsh, this may seem inhumane, but there's a good reason behind that, because music does influence the way we operate. Just think about it. Even in my personal life, I used to listen to a lot of songs about relationships and love. And I used to really believe that, I needed to settle down and I needed to, prioritize a woman over my purpose. And I really attribute that not only to the music, but the people I hung around. But the music definitely has a big impact on how people act. Just think about the artists on the female side that are promoting what they're promoting. They have a whole culture, a whole group, a whole subset of females acting just like them. We have to separate ourselves and separate the narrative that just because somebody is an artist or a rapper or a singer, they are a role model. More often than not, these people are damaging the community. Now, that's not to say that there aren't good guys and good people out there that are promoting positive messages. But you have to think that stuff doesn't penetrate the Billboard Top 10, and it's for a strategic reason. They want to keep people on a lower frequency. They want people to be not spiritual, but primal beings, and they want to do this by giving you certain music to listen to. They control the music you listen to. When you turn on the radio, you don't get to pick what song comes on next. And you have to think about this. This is very strategic. You're listening to whatever they want you to listen to. And it's not safe if you're using some platform like Apple Music or Spotify. They still have ways to control what it is that you're listening to. So I just wanted to highlight this because this is something that can make or break your life. And it's something so small, and this is the thing. The small things, the details is what makes for the great things. You have to pay attention to the details. And in the details of music, understand it's not just the beat that matters. What is this artist talking about? What is it that he or she is trying to promote? Is this something that's going to help me on later in life? Is what this artist is promoting something that is positive or negative for my current state in life? But the choice is ours. So if you want to continue to be ignorant and listen to whatever it is that makes you feel good, continue to do so. But just know that it's going to come with some reactions. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So always be aware that music is something that can come back to bite you in the butt later. The choice is yours.